Number 13, 1975 Chrysler Imperial. Coming in at number 13, the 1975 Chrysler Imperial. The Imperial was supposed to be Chrysler's flagship luxury vehicle, their answer to Cadillac and Lincoln. Instead, it became a symbol of terrible timing. This massive car stretched over 230 inches long and weighed nearly 5,000 pounds, powered by a 440 cubic inch V8 producing 215 horsepower. The problem? It arrived right in the middle of the fuel crisis, achieving fuel economy in single digits. Quality control was atrocious. Electrical systems failed constantly, paint deteriorated prematurely, and mechanical problems plagued owners who paid over $10,000. The styling looked outdated, like a 1960s design nobody bothered updating. By the end of 1975, Chrysler discontinued it entirely. They couldn't justify producing a car nobody wanted during an energy crisis. Number 12, 1975 to 1977 Chevrolet Chevelle. Early Chevelles were muscle car legends. These mid-1970s versions, sad reminders of how far performance had fallen. The base 250 cubic inch 6 produced just 105 horsepower. Even the mighty 454 V8 managed only 215 horsepower, less than half its 1970 output. Primitive emissions controls caused constant problems with clogged EGR valves and rough-running engines. Despite losing all that power, fuel economy was terrible. The big V8 struggled to reach 10 miles per gallon. Interior quality declined with cheaper plastics and thinner materials. The softened suspension created excessive body roll without improving comfort. Priced from $3,500 to $5,000, these Chevelles disappointed anyone who remembered what the nameplate once represented. Number 11, the Ford Maverick. Ford designed the Maverick with one goal: make it as cheap as possible. Mission accomplished. The base 170 cubic inch 6 produced 105 horsepower, and even the optional 302 V8 couldn't overcome the fundamental cheapness. The cramped interior featured hard plastic everywhere and minimal seat padding that made long drives unbearable. Build quality was inconsistent. Panel gaps varied wildly, doors didn't align, and wind noise was excessive. Rust appeared quickly in northern states. The handling was vague with almost no steering feedback, and braking distances were alarmingly long. Ford added the grabber package with cosmetic upgrades, but you can't polish a turd. Starting around $1,995, it sold on price alone. Number 10, 1971 to 1980 Chevrolet Vega. General Motors launched the Vega in 1971 as their answer to imports. The 2.3-liter 4 produced 90 horsepower, but power wasn't the problem. The innovative aluminum block with silicon-etched bores was. The engine overheated constantly, warping cylinder walls and causing catastrophic failures before 50,000 miles. Owners watched blue smoke pour from exhausts while adding a quart of oil every few hundred miles. Rust was equally catastrophic. Despite GM's claims of advanced protection, body panels rotted within 2 years. Fenders, doors, and subframes literally disintegrated. In 1972, GM recalled 500,000 Vegas for axle shafts that could cause wheels to fall off. Motor Trend named it Car of the Year in 1971. By 1975, it was a punchline that damaged GM's reputation for decades. Number 9, 1975 to 1980 AMC Pacer. At number 9, the AMC Pacer. AMC marketed the Pacer as the first wide small car, nearly as wide as a full-size sedan, but only 171 inches long. The massive greenhouse with fishbowl windows turned the interior into a literal greenhouse on sunny days. The 3.8-liter 6 produced just 100 horsepower to move 3,000 pounds with brick-like aerodynamics. 0 to 60 took nearly 14 seconds with 16 mpg fuel economy. The Pacer was designed for a GM rotary engine that was canceled, forcing AMC to stuff in a heavier conventional 6. The passenger door was 4 inches longer than the driver's door. innovative but pointless. Build quality was poor, with electrical problems and failing door mechanisms. AMC sold 280,000 before pulling the plug in 1980. Its appearance in Wayne's World sealed its legacy as the ultimate uncool car. Number 8. 1975 to 1976 Chevrolet Cosworth Vega. In 1975, Chevrolet partnered with legendary Cosworth to redeem the Vega's reputation with a performance version. The 2.0-liter dual overhead cam 4 with fuel injection produced 110 horsepower, impressive for 1975. The engine featured forged pistons, stainless valves, and genuine Cosworth-designed head. So what went wrong? Everything else. At $6,000, it cost nearly double a standard Vega, Corvette money for a subcompact. The regular Vega's destroyed reputation meant no amount of engineering could overcome buyer fear. Despite the exotic engine, 110 horsepower in a 2,600-pound car delivered underwhelming performance. Only 3,508 were produced, most suffering the same rust issues as regular Vegas, plus expensive fuel injection problems. Chevrolet lost money on every one sold. Number 7. 1974 to 1978 Ford Mustang II. The original Mustang defined pony cars in 1964. 10 years later, Ford replaced it with this. Everything wrong with 1970s thinking. Built on the Pinto platform, it came with a 2.3-liter 4 producing just 88 horsepower. A Mustang with 88 horsepower. Even the optional 302 V8 made only 140 horsepower, less than half its earlier output. Performance was abysmal. The 4-cylinder took nearly 15 seconds to hit 60. The V8 managed 10 seconds, slower than modern minivans. Handling was terrible, with vague steering and excessive body roll. Hard plastic interiors and vinyl that cracked quickly matched the disappointing performance. It sold over 1 million units and won Motor Trend's Motor Trend Car of the Year, but it betrayed everything the Mustang nameplate represented. Number 6. 1971 to 1978 Ford Pinto. The Pinto is perhaps the most infamous car on this list for tragic reasons beyond just being poorly built. Ford introduced it in 1971 to compete with imports, featuring a 2.0-liter 4 producing 75 horsepower. It was cheap and fuel efficient, selling hundreds of thousands annually. But behind the scenes lurked a deadly flaw. The fuel tank, positioned behind the rear axle with minimal protection, could rupture and ignite in rear-end collisions above 25 mph. Between 1971 and 1978, dozens died in Pinto fires. The scandal? Ford knew about the problem before production and conducted a cost-benefit analysis, determining lawsuits would cost less than the $11 per car fix. This calculation became public during litigation, fundamentally changing how we think about automotive safety and corporate responsibility. Ford recalled 1,500,000 Pintos in 1978, but the damage was done. The Pinto became a case study in corporate ethics still taught today. Number 5. 1976-1979 Chevrolet Chevette. Coming in at number 5, the Chevrolet Chevette. GM entered the subcompact market in 1976 with the Chevette, cheap, basic transportation at its worst. The 1.4-liter 4 produced just 52 horsepower. 52! 0 to 60 took nearly 20 seconds, and highway passing required planning measured in minutes. The interior was a penalty box with vinyl seats, rubber mats, and almost no sound insulation, making conversation impossible at speed. Build quality was atrocious. Plastic pieces cracked, door handles snapped off, and rust developed quickly. Number 4. 1975 to 1976 Triumph TR7. British Leyland launched the TR7 in 1975 with the slogan, "The shape of things to come." The wedge-shaped design polarized opinion. Some found it futuristic. Most thought it looked like a doorstop. The 2.0-liter 4 produced just 92 horsepower, taking 11 seconds to hit 60. Unimpressive for a sports car. But performance wasn't the real problem. Reliability was catastrophic. Electrical systems failed constantly thanks to infamous Lucas components. Headlights stopped working, gauges gave false readings, and starting was unpredictable. Built in 3 strike-plagued factories, quality varied wildly but was never good. The convertible top leaked profusely and plastic bumpers faded quickly. Priced at $7,000, it became a mechanic's retirement fund with poor parts availability. British Leyland sold 112,000 before ending production in 1981. The TR7 effectively killed Triumph as a sports car brand. Number 3. 1978 Oldsmobile Delta 88 with GM's diesel engine. GM's 350 cubic inch diesel V8 became one of the greatest automotive disasters ever, rushed to market after only 5 years of development. The fatal flaw? GM based it on their gasoline V8, using the same head bolts that couldn't handle diesel's higher cylinder pressures. These bolts stretched and broke, causing blown head gaskets that let coolant into cylinders, destroying engines completely. GM also omitted water separators to save money, causing widespread fuel system corrosion, costing over $1,000 to repair. Timing chains stretched, causing poor performance and difficult starting. When engines failed, and they failed constantly, repairs often exceeded $2,000. Number 2. 1976 to 1979 Plymouth Volare and its twin, the Dodge Aspen. Chrysler rushed these cars to production 6 months early, creating one of the most recalled vehicles in history. Within 2 years, the 1976 model had 8 separate federal safety recalls for emissions problems, fuel leaks, and seatbelt failures. The most expensive issue was catastrophic fender rust. Front's fenders lacked galvanization and developed holes within months in northern states. Chrysler recalled every 1976 and 1977 Volare and Aspen, over 1 million vehicles, for fender replacement, costing $109 million. Additional recalls covered hoods that wouldn't latch, engines that stalled without warning, and suspension components that failed prematurely. Number 1. 1975 to 1980 Chevrolet Monza. The Monza earns the top spot by building on the catastrophically unreliable Vega platform, automotive malpractice. It inherited all the Vegas problems, aluminum engines that overheated and consumed oil, failing before 50,000 miles, and rust appearing within 3 years. But the Monza added its own unique disaster. On V8 models, you literally couldn't change spark plugs without lifting or removing the engine. The rear plugs were completely inaccessible. Routine 30-minute maintenance required hours of professional labor or engine removal. Handling was poor with binding suspension and no steering feedback. The optional T-top leaked constantly, and interior quality featured hard plastics and flimsy controls throughout. Electrical systems failed regularly. Priced at $3,500, it sold well initially on looks alone, but word spread about reliability nightmares and impossible maintenance. The Monza represents 1970s failure at its peak. Terrible platform, impractical features, impossible maintenance, and catastrophic reliability for premium pricing.